Alright everybody, and welcome to another video by me, Craig Bryant. It is lovely to have you join me. You join me in Glasgow. Well, actually, I'm in an Asda car park. There's Asda, the entrance over there. Just stocking up some provisions as I embark on this epic journey to the Isle of Islay. And over there, that thing there, can barely point at it, is like the the regional football centre of Tory Glen, Glasgow. So looks, there's loads of lads wandering about the place, like in football kits, but like in unbranded football kits. So I wonder if they are the next future stars of the Scotland national team. Who knows? But yes, I've been in Asda. I should spend the money on the actual Isle of Islay, so I know I'm going to get a lot of hatred from people who are like, don't stock up before you go away to the islands of Scotland. I totally agree, but I do need some, I needed a multi-pack of bottles of water because I keep running out and I hate filling them up. You know, like if you go into a hotel and you want to then fill up your bottle and it's like filling up your bottle in the bathroom, I don't know why the water feels like it should be, it's illegal to drink it. So anyway, that's what I'm stocking up on here, but I'm sure that the Isle of Islay will have lots of things for me to sample, and it is well known as the Whiskey Isle, Scotch whiskey. Basically the vast majority of it is made on the Isle of Islay. You do have some other areas of Scotland that have like a concentration of distilleries. I'm thinking Speyside, which is like sort of on the way to Inverness, and you do have sort of distilleries dotted around, but the Isle of Islay has absolutely tons of whiskey distilleries. I'm going to butcher the names, but you've got Kyle Islay, obviously, you've got Laphroaig, what other ones do you have from there? I'll be missing some totally. Well, obviously Islay as well, like Islay whiskey. Jura whiskey is just over a tiny little ferry on the Isle of Jura next door. And what else do you have? Oh my days, Brickladdick, is that one? And then is there Bunnabain? I think that's one as well. And then there's Laphroaig and another one begin with L. Loads of them. Anyway, you've not watched this video to hear me try to recite the distilleries of Islay. You're here to watch some ferries. So I've got a 2.5 hour drive from here in Glasgow to the port in Kennacraig. Just geography wise, it is an absolutely annoying. I think I am technically further north now than I am to the ferry port at Kennacraig, but I have to go all the way up to basically the top of Loch Lomond. I'll do it this way. You go from Glasgow all the way up to Loch Lomond. At Tarbert, you go, there's loads of Tarbert. At Tarbert, you go along over the rest and be thankful, and then you go around the top of Loch Fyne where Inverary is. I'll keep doing this actually, Inverary, and then you come down round Loch Gilphead and then down to another Tarbert. This one's got an R in the middle. Tarbert is just Gaelic for isthmus, like a little bit of land between two bits of water, so that's why there's loads of Tarberts. There's like one on Harris and things like that. But yes, then through Tarbert, the other Tarbert, to Kennacraig, and that is where the lovely MV FINLAGGAN, which I'm buzzing to get on board, will be leaving from. So I will see you when we get to Kennacraig. Right everybody, I'm not at Kennacraig just yet. I'm actually here in Inverary on the banks of Loch Fyne. That is where the restaurant chain gets its name from. This lovely sea loch over here. And it is just an absolutely lovely town. I used to come here as a kid, so you can see the British flag and the Scottish flags flying over there, both good to see. But I used to come here as a little kid. We always used to go to Oban, as I've probably told you a million times on this channel, when I was a kid. And sometimes we would drive back this way, down through Inverary. I've put a couple of shots in before. You can just see what the town's like. It is lovely. I mean, obviously it's off season. I think half term must have been last week, because I've seen loads of school kids walking around when I was driving like past through Glasgow. So I don't think it's like high season, so it's pretty dead, to be honest with you. But it's lovely. You've got a nice little toilet block here, and it's just an absolutely gorgeous place. So I'm in no hurry for this ferry. I'm literally an hour ahead of schedule, so I'm just going to wander around here a little bit, take it easy on the drive down there. But I was going to stop, actually. I'm really gutted. I was going to stop at the Rest and Be Thankful, which is a pass on the A83, I think it is. Is it still, or is it the A82 still then? It was the A83. It's the A83. But it's a lovely name for a mountain pass. And I've been listening to a nice sermon by Tim Keller on God's plans and your plans in life. And I just feel really thankful, feel really encouraged, really thankful to God that I get to do this sort of thing, exist in this world, this beautiful world that he's made. So yes, I'm going to now just have a slow drive down to the ferry port at Kennagraig. How class is this? I've seen them before, but I didn't realise there were, I think there's a few more now. I should never have bought a multi-pack of water. I should have just filled my bottle up there. Tut tut. I keep saying I'll be in Kennagraig when I next see you, but I couldn't help myself. I was driving through Loch Gilphead. I've been here before with Rachel, my beautiful wife, and I just absolutely love the place. It's got such a nice feel to it. Like, there's nothing actually much to it. There's a Scottish flag there, but I love this sort of, like, it's not that nice of a, like, there's no beach or anything like that, because it's all, I don't know if you can tell there, but it's all ridiculously tidal and like mud flats and that. But it is an absolutely beautiful little town. It's got absolutely everything that you need. There's a little police station and everything down there. But this part of Scotland always sort of reminds me of the Republic of Ireland. This is a little bit like, and people will tell me I'm wrong, but Buncrana, or Buncrana as I want to say, but I'm wrong, but Buncrana in County Donegal has got a very, very similar feel to this. Like, lots of the houses are sort of white houses, and it's just, it sort of feels a little bit different, this part of Scotland. And I wonder what Isla's going to be like, that sort of mixture. Is it going to have a little bit of an Irish influence? Who knows? Anyway, I will see you in Kennagraig, unless I get distracted like an ADHD person, possibly like myself, and go and start rambling to the camera. But don't you just love, look at the investment in this place. This is lovely. This is so well kept. But it is a beautiful, beautiful sunny evening. It's lovely to get a bit of sun on the skin after a long winter. But I will see you in Kennagraig and the ferry. Skip to the ferry if you're bored of this. Hopefully don't need a life jacket today. Just stays where it was. Away, and we are at Kennagraig, and there is loads going on here. As you can just have seen, the FINLAGGAN, the MV FINLAGGAN is approaching. I can see it to the left, so this is going to have to be quick. So yes, just arrived here. The car lanes don't seem to be that full, but obviously I'm quite a bit early as somebody just pulls up just behind as well. So not sure how busy the sailing's going to be, but it is a beautiful evening. It was about 9 degrees Celsius before. 9 degrees Celsius is, in my opinion, the greatest temperature in the world. I absolutely love it. Can wear something like this, not be too cold, but the temperature has dropped a little bit. I'm watching the FINLAGGAN. Sorry, that's why I keep looking this way, because it is approaching pretty quickly. So I'm going to get out and film it berthing. And as you can also see, there might be a little bit of noise on that, because there's lots of work going on to improve this place, to improve Kenna Craig. There's 2 berths here, 2 link spans. I'm not sure if one of them actually is technically a link span, if it's just like a concrete thing. Anyway, because there's 2 new vessels coming. Now, the FINLAGGAN, I think, was made in 2011 at Gdansk, at Remontover, was in Gdansk last year, and tried to get into Remontover shipworks, but a Polish man at the security booth wouldn't let me for some reason. They probably don't get many English tourists going over to try and look at where CalMac vessels are built. Anyway, I'm absolutely buzzing. The FINLAGGAN is approaching. The berth that is open, I think it is the south berth that is closed at the minute. They're doing loads of work on it, and then they're going to close the other one. So from January to like April, this one's going to be closed. So I'm going to run out, put my coat on, run out and watch the FINLAGGAN come on in. I'm absolutely buzzing. This is what life's all about. There doesn't seem to be any signs telling me that I can't be here. But it's one of those classic things where, did they expect people to be this buzzing about the ferry mooring that they would actually need signage? But yes, the ferries are going to, the cars, sorry, is going to come off the ferry here. But there is the MV FINLAGGAN just docking behind. Touching there. And if you just look, where's my finger? There, look at that bulbous bow. And we're waiting, as it lines up, we're waiting for the clamshell bow doors to open. So instead of having a bow visor, that'll open this way. Oh, just on cue. I need to contain myself. Look at that clam door bow. Oh, a thing of beauty. The same noise as the MV Argyle and Butte, which were both built at Remontover and Gdansk as well. They've got that classic Polish alarm going off. I do talk a load of rubbish. Why is nobody watching this? Prime entertainment. Just putting the mooring ropes on now. Right, I'm not sure how long the turnaround time is. I don't think they used to people just sitting filming that, starting filming that. But I'm going to get back to the car because like everybody else feels like they're raring to go, even though they've got to unload the whole ferry and the thing's not due to leave here for like 40 minutes, 35 minutes time. But that was class. I love the long tongue of a bow ramp that it's got. The clamshell bow doors, I know nobody else cares, but they really are something to behold. Anyway, it doesn't look like much of a full sailing. In fact, I am still at the very rear of the car lanes, and I was here massively early. We've got quite a few lorries, but that's not really unexpected, is it? Because obviously the whole island needs freight, especially with the whiskey trade. And I wonder how many of these. We've got some empty whiskey barrels going back on to the Isle of Islay. But I'm going to go and sit in the car and get ready to get on board, and then I'll show you around FINLAGGAN. And then I'm absolutely starving, so I'm going to get some food. I might get a CalMac and cheese, or I might get a burger, classic. Also, just a note on the terminal building, it smells like a doctor's surgery and it's absolutely tiny. Is that ever getting replaced? Because it feels like it needs to, but it had loads of like free CalMac stuff. So I've got myself the magazine, the Journey magazine. I will not be able to sleep tonight reading that. It was free, or I've just stolen it. I can't work out which one, but I can't say a price on it and nobody's told me off. Also, these massively remind me of my childhood. They did one for Oban as well, but they're like, I'm not going to open it up, but they've got a full like interactive map. It's not interactive, but you know what I mean. It's like just a really nicely drawn map of North Islay. Don't know why the South's not getting one unless it's on the other side of it. But yeah, I can't wait. I need to get an absolute life. If you're enjoying this video, you are a weirdo like me, please subscribe and give the video a like. That would massively help me out. But yes, just gonna try and contain myself before I get on board. It's gonna be great. Right, I'm gonna try and use this mount this way. It'll not be a good angle, but when I drive on, I'll put it in my phone mount and twist it round. Love that noise. Oh, up on the mezzanine. Come on, I love a good mezzanine deck. I think it's only got one on this side. Oh yeah, it does. Thanks, mate. No worries. Well, they've said stay in the car, which means we get to have a ride with the mezzanine. Today gets better and better. Come on. Oh, here we go. The mezzanine deck is moving up. Right, I always get flashed by cars behind us, so I'm not going to show you that. But basically, mezzanine deck is exactly what it sounds like. It's a deck that you drive on, and then they hoist you up, so we'll be like floating in the air. And then they'll drive cars underneath us, so it means that you've just got one level of boarding. It's not big enough ferry for an internal ramp. Other ferries don't need a mezzanine deck, but for this sort of size, this sort of medium-sized ferry, a mezzanine deck's really good. It means that you can add full height, so if you had more lorries, you can barely feel anything moving, to be honest with you. It means that, you know, if it was a light loading of cars, you could have so loud lorries underneath. If not, you can get loads of cars on here, loads of cars underneath as well. Right guys, I've just nabbed the front seat, but I'll not be here for very long. I'm just going to get some food from the Mariners Cafe and enjoy the view out of here, and then I'll do a full tour, but I'm going to have an early tea, and then we're going to go outside. Wait till you see the price. £12.50. Great value. So I'm not going to do it. Thumbnail, thumbnail. Okay, guys, I hope you can hear me now. I've got my stupid cat mic on here. We are on the MV FINLAGGAN, as you've probably already guessed, and we are exiting West Loch Tarbert. Loch Tarbert. Well, West Loch Tarbert. Sorry, there is an East Loch Tarbert. That's like it's a beautiful little village. I actually had to really stop myself from stopping there. But yeah, that's where another CalMac ferry goes across the bottom of Loch Fyne. So that whole drive over the Reston Be Thankful and through Inverary and Loch Gilphead, you can avoid that. I think the timings didn't really work today, and the cost. The problem with that is the cost of the CalMac ferry is absolutely fine. It's the Western ferries at Dunoon to get over to Greenock or Gourock. That's probably where the problem is with that. That was very expensive, so that's why I did the sort of long way around. The wind, of course, has just picked up. I think we've made a slight turn. That's why. Right, let me get in the wind shadow over here. I think that's probably a bit better. Yes, you can see we've just done a turn here. I'm between the FINLAGGAN's twin funnels here, and we're looking aft at the back of the ship. That is beautiful, and we've got ourselves a fuel tanker there, and that's one of the first things to say is the design of the ship. The reason why they have sort of an open aft end is to carry hazardous cargo. The ones, some of the ferries, the older CalMac ferries, I'm particularly thinking Isle of Lewis and the Isle of Mull and the Caledonian Isles. Is there any more left with the total enclosed car deck? That means that hazardous goods, I think, are unable to travel, but that's why this has got so a little bit sticking off the back. So some people, you'd be surprised how many people actually question why that bit hangs off. But my first impressions are this is one of the best ferries I've ever been on. Definitely the best CalMac ferry I've ever been on, and possibly one of the best ferries I've been on in my whole life. It is absolutely lovely. It's class. So just a little quick history, if you don't care about this, just skip to the lovely pictures of the sea. Look, that'll keep you going. Look, there's some sea here. But as we exit West Loch Tarbert, I'll tell you a little bit about this ferry and how it sort of got to this route. It was built in 2011. I don't have all the stats here off the top of my head. I think it sort of holds about 80-ish cars. And it's currently, well, it was sort of designed in mind, I think, the Glen Rosser, so the second Ferguson Marine build. No, that was actually for the Uig Triangle. Forget what I'm saying, I'm just making all this up, actually. I'm not. But basically, the FINLAGGAN was built at a time where CalMac were sort of rejigging their main vessels, and the Hebridean Isles, and sometimes the Isle of Arran as well, were plying their trade to the Isle of Islay. Here is some more sea that will keep you going. Back to me. But the FINLAGGAN is an absolutely brilliant build. It was one of the first, it was the third actually, Scottish CalMac vessel that wasn't built in Scotland, or the British Isles, sorry, because you had earlier ones, I think.
Now I'm guessing here. I swear the Hebridean Isles was built somewhere inland in Yorkshire, like on the River Ouse. I think that's right. And then you've got the Hebrides. I think the MV Hebrides was built down in Devon at Appledore, I think it was. This was built at Remontover in Gdansk, I've already said, alongside the Argyle and the Butte. I think they came into service 2007, 2008-ish. And then this was a bigger vessel. Now, it is a brilliant design. It's so compact, but it's got absolutely everything you need. I'll give you a good tour. I've actually not seen everywhere, but my first impressions of this is it's absolutely quality. Some, especially newer vessels, sadly built with dodgy steel, showing their age far too prematurely. I'm looking at you, P&O Pioneer, and probably the P&O Liberté is probably rusted away on its trip around Africa to get delivered to Dover. Whereas this is really kept well. CalMac are very good at keeping on top of the vessels. I know, I've got my opinions on the sort of procurement and the SMP and CMAL, that's Caledonian Maritime's Assets Limited, which own the ferries. CalMac, though, which run them, are fantastic. The crew, absolutely fantastic. Honestly, it's been lovely. The people on the sort of gate when you drive your car up, lovely, really welcoming, friendly. People in the cafeteria, lovely, welcoming, friendly. That's exactly what you want. So CalMac, give your FINLAGGAN staff a massive pat on the back, give them a raise, because they're doing a brilliant job keeping Islay connected to the rest of Scotland. Now, we are exiting West Loch Torre. It's lovely. It's almost like a funnel shape. So we're sort of exiting it. It really does gradually sort of slip away. And then we may see a little bit of movement. There is a little bit of wind tonight, but it was honestly beautiful and calm, especially on the drive down from Loch Fyne. It was absolutely glassy. But as we exit West Loch Talbot now, I'll go and show you. Well, let's go down the side. Let's keep this going. I'll not do a cut here. This is 5 minutes of your life you're never going to get back. This little segment here. But yes, this is the sort of outdoor space. It's very much like a little bit like one of the Stena Superfast, or actually really reminds me of sort of a P&O European Causeway. You've got one side, you don't have the other side available, and we've got ourselves a nice little light over there, bleep bleep bleep, telling you where the entrance of West Loch Talbot is. So that's us. Sorry if I'm keep spinning around, that might make you feel sick. I'll try and do that less, sorry guys. That is us exiting, and we are heading over. You possibly can see it there in the distance. Just on the horizon is the Isle of Islay. Now, I really would have loved to have shown you the Paps of Jura, which should be like there, but it's a little bit. It's started to. The sun's gone down. It is February still, even though this is about. It's after 6 o'clock now. We've got a little bit of light, but not much left. So you can't even see the Paps of Jura through the rain, through the mist over there. But we are going to go across now some of the inner seas of the Hebrides, I think is the technical name for this type of stretch of water, and we are approaching the one of two ports on Islay. Islay's got Port Ellen on the south side and Port Askaig, which is on the little bit, sort of the Kyles of Islay, a really thin passage between Islay and Jura. Port Askaig's in there. It can get a little bit wild apparently in the Sound of Islay. I think it's called the Sound of Islay. So we'll see what that's like now. It's because it's sort of funnels the sea through. But yes, we're heading for Port Askaig. It's about 1 hour and 50. I'm saying it's about. The captain's just said it. It's 1 hour and 55-minute crossing. So I'm going to be a weirdo, be the only person out on deck. Classic. There was like 2 people out for a walk and they went straight back in, and then a woman smoking and she's went straight back in. So as per usual, especially in the winter, it's just me. We've got a nice bit of outdoor space. I do say I love a forward view on a ferry, and unfortunately you don't get it on these newer ferries. So enjoy the MV Isle of Arran, and the Cali Isles has got one as well. Enjoy it for now. They probably never build them again. They should, but they probably won't. But we've just done a proper sort of turn out of West Loch Talbot now, and we're sort of heading straight for the Sound of Islay and then Port Askaig, which will take about 1 hour and 55 minutes. The food was absolutely amazing. I should have said something about it in there, but I hate talking in front of people, and I'm not going to be one of them YouTubers that eats in front of people on camera. Weird. But that was lovely. The famous CalMac and cheese was absolutely lovely, and it was £12 something. Unreal. What good value for a huge portion. Chips, tender stem broccoli, not even just a little bit of broccoli, tender stem broccoli, man, and an iron brew. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. I'm not looking through this through rose tinted glasses of, oh yes, I'm going to a new island and I'm excited. I'm genuinely trying to be objective here. This is one of the best ferries I've been on. So at this point, I would highly recommend it. It started raining. So I will do a little tour of the inside later on, but I'm going to enjoy some of the sights and sounds of Islay. Anyway, you can't get in there, so back up to deck 5. That amazingly does go up to the funnel. The edge of the funnel has a lift, which is amazing. I do it.
That meant the party could avoid a potentially damaging rebellion. Do what to do it! The move provokes calls for a return of the Speaker's predecessor and made for a stormy atmosphere.
Been there. Oh, they wouldn't let me in. How nice is this? Sit in this lounge and watch the darkness go by, and then I'll go back outside when I get bored. This is such a nice ferry. There's like a tiny bit of movement, but this is lovely. This is such a joy. It's really quiet. there is the Isle of Jura, and we also have, we're chasing the sunset still. You can get a little bit of a, if you focus on that little bit of sun there, you can see the sort of swell, but there's not much really, it's really fine to go on. And there is the site of the Isle of Jura, but there are no lights at all apart from the ones on the ship. Going this way, you can see the Isle of Gear really far, but you can't see it. But the Isle of Gear is far back on the other side of the ship. So as you can see, not much in Port Ascaig. I mean, imagine having that house there on the left. Absolutely picture perfect. You've got a little hotel there, I think. And the Jura ferry departs, I think, just right in the centre of the screen there. And then you can see the link span sort of structure now in the centre of the screen, where the bigger ferry, us, the FINLAGGAN, will pull in. And then we'll go up that hill to the hotel. Alright, if you do own this house and you're feeling generous, please leave it in your will to me, because that's flipping lovely. Wow, what a place. And the Alien Jura.
With all vehicle drivers and their passengers, please return to your vehicle.
Okay, probably be the last one there. Off to the car, let's go. Well, as I sit on the mezzanine deck ready for disembarkation, still haven't got the ramp at the back of the boat down, the stern ramp, but I will give you my thoughts. Fantastic ship, possibly my new favourite CalMac ship, definitely the best CalMac ship I've been on. Lovely route. 2 hours, 1 hour 55 minutes is like a perfect length. You enjoy the ferry, but you're not on it for like ages and ages. I was just lovely all round. Food was brilliant, the staff were excellent, the ferry wasn't over full. That probably helps. We're out of season, but also had a smoothish crossing. It was a little bit of wind in that, but I think the vast majority of people would have really enjoyed that. Would have felt nothing. Loads of space to chill out on the ferry. I'm trying to give any sort of feedback, as in like some sort of constructive criticism. I'm struggling. That's a really good sign. I think if you're going to build ferries in future, have a forward outside deck. You know, maybe some of the views on the deck could be a little bit better, especially with the twin funnels on either side. They sort of block a lot of the boat. There's also a bit of superstructure cuts out, so on deck 5's tiny little viewing platform, can't even really see over the sides. That is as much as I can get to. In terms of the inside, lovely, spotlessly clean. Obviously didn't film in the toilets. I went into both toilets, obviously, to check them out. One's got a shower. Sorry, when I say both toilets, I didn't go into the man's and the woman's. I went into 2 separate male toilets, obviously. Yes, I'm not going to get cancelled. Not today even. But yes, both toilets, the bigger one on deck 6 had a shower in it, and it was spotlessly clean. It was, yeah, I've had a brilliant time. If you've enjoyed coming along with me, I highly recommend you go and book with CalMac on the Isla route, especially as the FINLAGGAN's still on it for this year at least. It's absolutely brilliant, and I'm buzzing to just see what this island has to offer. I've got high expectations, but I think it will. I love Scotland, and I think it'll match them. But yes, if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe. That would massively help the channel out, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye. That was Borat. Bye.